4 months ago, I was invited to a workout. And I'll be completely transparent with you. The only reason why I showed up was because, one, I said I would, so that was just my word. And two, because I had an event, a women's event, that I wanted the person who invited me to come to. So I was like, if I go to her event, she'll come to my event, right? That was my whole idea around it, just being real. I came in, fell in love with the community, and now I'm a part of this incredible community more than I ever thought I would. You know, sometimes you go into a place and you stay for a different reason. You know, your why for going in isn't always what keeps you. And I know that this place has absolutely provided me with what I needed, and I didn't even know it. And so I'm so excited to be here with you guys tonight. Really, really excited to, you know, get into tonight, because it's really important that we're taking care of ourselves. You heard Tracy say our philosophy here is 80% nutrition, 20% fitness, and 100% mindset. Awesome. So I really am blessed to be able to go over the 80% nutrition. I know you guys have heard a lot about nutrition around here, but I'm going to give you some tips to really help you be successful and really prepare. Wouldn't you agree that if you don't prepare to succeed, you're basically preparing to fail? Yes. Do you agree? Yes. Yes. Awesome. So we're really going to go over some tips that can really help you to just be more prepared to ensure that you're successful on your journey. First and foremost, nobody's going to be perfect. So I'll tell you right now, no matter where you are, it's perfect where you are right now. Your time is now. Whatever you are on and whatever you're looking towards is so reachable for you as long as you keep going. You'll fall down, but as long as you keep getting back up and keep going, you will absolutely get to your destination. So excited. I'm going to go ahead and pass out this little handout I made for each of you. So if you could just take one and pass it down. Pass it to the back. Reach the end there. Awesome. So this is a handout. It's really going to give you some meal prepping tips and some recipes. How many people have been on this journey for more than 3 months? Okay, so how many of you have meal prepped before? How many of you who have meal prepped before not meal prepped when you know you're supposed to? I think every person should raise their hand, yeah. Awesome. Doesn't it make a difference when you do meal prep and when you don't make meal prep? Yeah. It is incredible. I can tell you for myself, it's like I don't meal prep and I think it's just a small thing. I think it's just my nutrition that I impact. And all of a sudden I'm running late. All of a sudden I'm like all over the place. I'm spending more money. I'm not organized. It like seriously has gotten my life in organization. Everything. And it's so amazing what this has done for me. So does everybody have a copy? Okay, good. Awesome. So the first little piece here is just going over what meal prepping is. So meal prepping is simply preparing all of your meals on one day for the entire week. This can be a day of the week that you have time to get it done. It will save you time in the long run and prevent you from eating something that is not going to support your goals. So one thing I can tell you that no matter what, it's always better to cook your own food. Some people think it's okay to go to Chipotle or go to a healthier choice, a healthier option. That can be okay for a little while, but I'm telling you right now, it's absolutely going to impact your bank account. For sure. Chipotle, you don't know, it tastes good for a reason, right? They're putting some extra stuff in there, sodium, some, lots of salt to make it taste nice and good, and that's really going to make you bloat a lot too. So really watch that. Whatever you're eating out there can absolutely impact your results. So nothing is better than meal prepping yourself. Now this next little paragraph is just a testimony for me. And I'd love to hear before the end of this a testimony from you for what meal prepping has done for you, okay? So once I learned to master my eating habits, I found that I could master anything else in life. This one discipline has opened up the door to helping me master my spending habits, organizational skills, and so much more. I could not have mastered this without meal prepping. It is a vital part to staying disciplined and consistent. How many of you believe that?
I do.
Awesome. Yes, I can tell you just testimony real quick. Just getting my life organized and meal prepping every week and learning the discipline of choosing what I'm going to eat. So it was definitely the discipline in meal prepping, but more discipline in not going and getting something else because I was tired of the chicken that I made 3 days ago, right? So that discipline really helped me to be more effective with my time. All was able to manage my time differently, because when you're eating right, it's impacting so much more than you realize. It allows you to live your purpose. What you are put here on this earth for, eating right and fueling yourself through nutrition is going to impact that, I promise. And so by fueling my body right, it cleared my mind. I was able to think straight. I was able to really do what God put me here to do, to inspire others, to help others, to really be the light. And whatever that looks like for you may be different, but for me, I know that I was put here for a special purpose. And I know that my purpose was hindered simply because I wasn't eating right. We would never put gas inside, or we would never put water inside of our gas tank, right? So why do we just put whatever junk that we find into our body? You can buy a new car, but you can't buy another body. So it's so important to see that the piece of this that can really change your life. I personally believe that if you take control of your nutrition, you will absolutely live your purpose. It helps you live your purpose. For me, I'm a testament to that. I wasn't doing what I was tired all the time. I didn't have time to do this. I didn't do what I said I was gonna do. I had excuses. I was just like, you know what, I'm tired, it's fine, I don't need to go to the gym, I don't need to go do that, I don't need to write the book that I've been saying I'm gonna write for like 5 years. It's fine because I'm tired, right? But once you take control of your nutrition, you take control of your life. It's absolutely amazing what it can do for you. And definitely is the 100% mindset, that comes with that. But that nutrition really gives you the clarity to think straight, and it really helps you to have the energy to do what you said you were gonna do, long after the mood you said it in has left. Sometimes when we're clear on that, we say, okay, the mood's gone, but I'm still gonna do it because I have the energy to do it. Even though I don't feel like it, I know I can push through and do it, right? So powerful. It's so much more than just preparing your meals. So some tips to make it simple for you guys are here. So I definitely don't like talking by myself. So I'm gonna have 5 of you read these, just like popcorn. You can just pop up and read it. Stand up and read number 1, whoever wants to.
Pick a day that you can meal prep each week. You will grocery shop on this day as well. I do on Sunday.
Perfect. So any day that works for you, whatever day you can be consistent with, is absolutely important. Pick whatever day that you know that you can meal prep. Go to the grocery store and do it every single week. I can tell you right now that if you don't plan this, if you don't just simply pick a day, you're not going to do it. You will put it off till tomorrow. You said tomorrow yesterday. So it's time to really just decide now what we're going to do. So thank you so much. Somebody read number 2, super easy one.
Find easy recipes that you enjoy.
Yeah. So it's so important that you're eating what you like. Would you agree? There's nothing worse than trying to do this healthy journey and feeling like you're on a diet. And everybody's like, you look great. What are you doing? I'm just eating chicken. Like, so boring.
That
Like,
term has come out of my mouth. How are you losing weight eating chicken all the time?
and then does that make somebody else excited to do what you're doing? No. Sometimes you got to give somebody sugar-coated broccoli, right? You got to give them the love on top of whatever it is, give them the candy that they want to see. So, oh, I'm doing this nutrition plan, it's amazing, I feel great. I'm loving myself through nutrition. It absolutely changes your whole perspective when you know that you're doing it out of self-love. Somebody want to read number 3?
Stick to simple foods like eggs, turkey bacon, turkey sausage, chicken, ground turkey, fish, veggies, fruit, and Greek yogurt.
Yes. So you can add whatever you love in there. Definitely want to hear what you guys love to cook. But I know for myself, if I ever try to get fancy, it's only like once a month, right? Maybe, like once every six months. I might be fibbing on that, right? There's nothing better than just knowing what you're gonna make, consistent. I know that I can't eat the same thing every single day, so I like to switch it up a little bit, add some different things in there, and that's what I included in the recipes. But we know that you guys have some incredible recipes that you make that are probably really easy, so we definitely want you to share those with us as well. I literally made these up. These recipes. So it's not like I went in a cookbook. This is just what I do. And so I'm just sharing what I do with you so I know your way can be just as great. So we'd love to hear that. Awesome. So number 4. Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah.
With the meat, after you cook it, isn't it true that it can only sit in the fridge for like 3 days? Is that...
Not that I'm aware of. It might not taste the same to you for your taste buds, but you definitely can see, like, I know for me, myself, I'll cook turkey and I can eat it for a week. And it's fun. I've been 2 years and 4 months and haven't had any issues. But to be completely honest, prior to that, I never did it. 2 years and 4 months ago, I was like the drive-thru girl. So definitely know that just from my own testimony. Chicken, I can say, is definitely one that I personally don't like after like 3 or 4 days. So I may make it for 3 or 4 days and then I have turkey for the rest of the time. Sometimes I'll like add an extra meal in the middle of the week. Whatever you got to do to freshen it up and keep yourself excited about it is great, but and you can look stuff like that up too. I don't know it all, so definitely check it out online. Awesome. Number 4.
Get the right size Tupperware for portion control.
Yes, so it's so important to know what to eat and how much to eat, right? Sometimes we think snack and we think mini meal, and we don't eat enough food, and we actually need to be eating more. And then sometimes we think big meal when it's a mini meal. So just really knowing the portion control of what you're consuming is so important, and that's all going to be based on your goals. So definitely get with your health coach on that, because there's not a one size fits all. You know, whatever your goals are going to be different than the person next to you, so that's why it's so important to talk to a health coach that's here. Awesome. So number 5, I'll do it. Awesome, Gina.
After cooked, store each meal in one big container, then prepare your smaller meals in individual Tupperware the night before each day.
Beautiful. So this is definitely just my personal tip. It's easier for me. I know one thing that I personally just get really overwhelmed with is too many little Tupperware containers, because then my sink's filled with Tupperware containers and I'm like not wanting to meal prep again, right? I'm like, oh, look at all this Tupperware. Now I gotta do all these dishes. I don't got time for this. Come on. So for myself, it makes sense for me just to put everything in one big Tupperware. I just kind of scoop whatever I'm gonna eat the next day and put them in my meals right before. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Awesome. And then, you know, here it really you're like, what do these little affirmations or whatever you want to call them at the bottom have to do with this? Yes.
I have one question.
Yeah.
For your turkey, how much do you scoop out? Like a cup or a half a cup? For if you're having that for your meal?
For your dinner?
Yes.
It's like a packing plate. So if you have a plate and it's round, you basically want 1/3 of the plate to be your protein, and then 2/3 of the rest of the plate to be your veggies.
Do you use like a measuring cup for the
No.
turkey though?
Personally,
Your
no.
hand, the size of your hand should be much protein to do.
Everybody has their different measurements. I just kind of look at it and I just kind of put it on my plate. Mexican, you know, grandma's just throw it in there. That's about enough, you know. You kind of get to know your food, right? You get to know what it's gonna look like. So for me, that's what I do. Or if I have like lettuce turkey wraps, like it's like taco and like a lettuce wrap, I'll just make like 3 of those. Yeah. 4 ounces
That's,
for
I
like a
guess,
snack.
would be a better.
And then yeah, 6 to 7 ounces if you like want to get a full meal, all depending on your own portion size. So yeah, I'm just gonna be completely honest and not make it sound like I'm over here measuring things out, right? Just me. Awesome. So does anybody else have any questions other than that before we go into these little fun affirmations? Okay, awesome. So here I just kind of wrote out some things that you can say to yourself. This is absolutely 100% mindset. I'm not telling you anything today that you don't already know, that you haven't already heard here or from your health coach, or you know, if you're on a nutrition plan, you absolutely have went over all of this, right? So half the time it's only about accountability. It's only about not just accountability from another person, but accountability for yourself. You know, we can always hope that somebody's gonna uplift us, and that's absolutely amazing. I definitely believe that uplifting others is truly one of the most incredible things we each can do, and it actually uplifts ourselves. But sometimes you get to encourage yourself. Sometimes you get to be the accountability for you. And so here are some little affirmations you can say or do, and just keep yourself encouraged through this whole entire journey. So get up every morning, look in the mirror, and tell yourself, I can do this. Have you ever talked to yourself in the mirror?
Yes.
Isn't it kind of different at first? Kind of feels silly. I'm like, nobody's here, right? I'm like talking to myself in the mirror, like, you know, I am, you know, an incredible woman of God. I have like all these affirmations that I say in the mirror. I can go out and do what He put me here to do. You know, I am somebody who's going to change the world. Whatever it is, but when somebody's like in the other room, it kind of feels like I'm like whispering or like kind of nervous. But I can tell you that this has absolutely changed my life. It definitely gives me the confidence to just go out there and just attack the day, knowing that nothing that comes against me for that day is actually going to bring me down. Knowing that I'm stronger than any struggle that I'm gonna see. And that's really powerful, but it's all in the mind. If you transform your thoughts, you can just completely change your life. It's amazing what our thoughts can do, and so I knew this was a huge piece into adding in here. So each day is a new day to be great. It doesn't matter if yesterday you didn't meal prep and you fell off your plan, or maybe you went by the golden arches. We won't judge you, okay? But it's just important to know that you can get back on the next day. It doesn't have to be be Monday because whatever society has allowed us to believe that the beginning of the week is the start of new things, right? A lot of people believe, oh, well, I already messed up, it's Thursday, I'm just going to wait till Monday to get back on, right? And it's also important to see that it's a cheat meal sometimes, not a cheat day. So if you have a cheat meal, still have your shakes, still have all your other meals that you're having that are planned. You may go to a family barbecue, and some people's mindsets just think, well, I'm going to a family barbecue, so I'm just going to throw the whole day away. I'm just going to eat whatever I want all day and start again, hopefully tomorrow. But many people do it like, the next week, and then all of a sudden you're putting it off till tomorrow, forever. So just know that each day is a new day. Changing your life isn't easy, but you are worth it. It's so important to know that you're worth it. Your family members don't have to believe it for you, as long as you believe it for yourself. Each person in here deserves this. Deserves to love themselves by meal prepping. Doesn't it sound so silly? Wow, we're talking about meal prepping. How is this loving myself to be great? Believing that I can do this. But it matters. It matters what you think about yourself. No matter what other people think either. We'll turn that off. You guys are distracted by this.
So many abs.
Hopefully that's motivation, right?
Be honest.
You guys can see the lovely pictures. Isn't that awesome? Like the picture on the, I need one of those in my house. So anyway, awesome. So, changing your life is not easy. Just know that you can do it, you are worth it, and it's not going to be easy on the journey. Some people think, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to go work out, I'm going to meal prep, and that it's just going to be like cake. You decided, so boom, you arrived. That's just not the way it is. The only way you can be successful if you can endure through the journey. And sometimes you're going to hit a lot of potholes, sometimes you're going to have to climb a lot of mountains. But wouldn't you say that climbing mountains just makes you stronger? Yeah, awesome. So just keep going, no matter what, like I said in the beginning, no matter where you're at, don't always look at how far you have to go. Sometimes you can just acknowledge yourself for how far you've came. Because you've absolutely come. Just this workout is an accomplishment. You already won. You already won for today. But within that, don't give yourself the excuse to not do the other things you said you were going to do because you won here. I know sometimes we can be creative in the way that we celebrate ourselves, right? I said that I'm going to, run a mile, go work out here, and maybe call a family member. Say those were your goals for the day. I'm just making it up. And you came here and you called your loved one, but you didn't run your mile. Is that completing everything you said you were going to do? Is it easy to check things off and then feel good about it and say, oh, well, I'll do it tomorrow? Something's really powerful when you just say, I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to do what I said I was going to do. It doesn't matter if I already won here, I hadn't completed what my goals were. And so for me, I don't do that every single day, but it definitely helps me to become better when I try to have that mindset. So, awesome. Put your best foot forward every day and inch yourself closer to your dreams. One day you will look back and be proud of how far you've come. Sometimes we look at the past and it's sad or depressing, for some people. Some people look at the past and they just see I need to get over my past. The past doesn't matter. I'm leaving that behind. But do we all realize that today and what we choose to do now is going to be the past in the future? When we look back to today, we can be proud of what we look back at if we decide to, right? And it's just little things as simple as meal prepping. But I promise if you take on this discipline and take it on for yourself and you're serious with it, because what you do when you leave here, we're not going to really know. It's really up to you. We don't know what goes on behind closed doors, although we'll see it in your results for sure. But we definitely don't really know what's going on. And so it's so important that you do something today that's going to make yourself proud tomorrow. So important. So this one I kind of just said before, but stop looking at how far you have to go and acknowledge yourself for how far you've come. You are a champion, and you are making it happen. Keep it up. The fact that you're here today says you're a champion. Yeah, clap for yourself. Beautiful. So, I think it's important to believe that, and be aware of what you're thinking about. I can tell you right now the way that you treat people, the way that your relationships are in your life, take responsibility for them and realize that whatever you're thinking about is impacting them. Sometimes we don't even realize what we're thinking. right? We just think and we just go and we don't really stop to actually think about what we're thinking about. It's kind of funny, right? But when you start to do that, you start taking control of different things in your life. Starting with nutrition, starting with yourself, and that impacts your life, your family, your friends. Whoever it is in your life is going to be impacted by the way you think. You know, something that's really powerful that's helped me a lot, one person told me one time, and it was like so awesome, really took to heart, was, you know, whatever somebody tells you or treats you, however they treat you, says more about them than it does about you. People are going to treat you the way that they feel inside. And so somebody can look at you and be like, oh my God, I love your shoes, those are so dope, they're blue and pink. Somebody else could be like, blue and pink does not go together. Why are you wearing those? Two different perspectives, right? But it's just some people just look for negative things. Some people they're always going to look for negative things. Hopefully I shouldn't say always. But there's some people in our lives who, do you guys agree, that's just down, down, down. And it can really affect our own self-confidence. But realizing that however they're treating you, never take it personally. Even the person who's like, oh my God, you're so beautiful. How are you doing? You look great. That says more about that person. Definitely keep yourself humble. Because some people are really loved on. And that's awesome. But don't ever let your head get too big. You know, definitely take each thing, good and bad, and just know that it's a reflection of what's in that person's heart. So that absolutely helped me with judgment. That absolutely helped me with love and keeping myself humble too. So definitely, hopefully that will help you. So the rest of this is recipes. So the next 2 pages are kind of just what I do each week. Definitely can add some stuff in here if you'd like. I'd love for you guys to bounce around ideas, share anything that you maybe love. Here we have egg muffins. Has anybody ever tried egg muffins before? Awesome. They're incredible. Yeah, Lacey loves them. Yeah, and you can make these however you want, right? So literally egg muffins. I have some people looking at me like, what? That's how what I thought too. So no worries, no judgment. Yeah.
Every time I make them, I ruin the pan.
Do you?
It's like one complaint.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Do you just use egg whites or the whole egg?
I personally use the whole egg. Some people just do egg whites.
No, I use like olive oil.
So you can spray some. Yeah. So you can use the olive oil spray. That's what I use, a little spray of olive oil. I think Rosie wants to tell us. What do you use, Rosie?
I've heard like three pans.
Roading it? Yeah, so say it loud so everybody
Well,
can
I
hear.
just use like a pie pan instead of using muffin tins, and then you can cut them into your
Oh, okay.
sizes. So if she's having a hard time getting the eggs out of her little tins, you can use a different kind of a pan.
Do you put anything in it at
I
all?
put like olive oil.
Olive oil?
Every time.
How long are you cooking them for?
Like 25 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, that's about right. How hot is the oven?
I don't know, like 350. I kind of just throw it on.
That's what I do, yeah. Okay, awesome. So I think that's great. You can just use, Rosie said to use like a little like cake pan, like a small one.
I've used everything because I just don't have muffin tins. I don't use it. So I like use like a pie pan, or I have like
A pie pan.
I have like a, what's the brand? Like a Pamper Chef barbed pan with like the stone ones that are really skinny. I mean, you can't portion them out like as evenly as you can with muffin tins, but it's still like easy to cut.
You
them
can
up
like
into
literally
slices.
use the little cupcake holders. That's what I do. I just put those in there and then I'm pumped up.
Yeah.
I've never had any issues, yeah. Really easy.
The paper ones?
Yeah, paper or whatever. Yeah, whatever works. But I like that. That's a good, different idea. Anybody else have any special tips? Tracy?
That's what I was gonna say,
Oh.
so the aluminum cupcake holders, you can spray those.
Perfect. Awesome. And then I just leave them in there until I eat it. And then I peel them off. Like, just like a cupcake. Makes you kind of feel like you're having a cupcake. It's like, oh, you got the little, I put like little bell peppers in it, so it's all colorful. And I'll like make my turkey. So I try to do things smart. You know, work smarter, not harder. So I'll make my turkey, and I get all of that together. I put bell peppers in there, and that's something that obviously I'm like loving tacos, right? So I have like my lettuce taco wraps for that. But what I also do is I'll get the eggs, whip them up, and I'll add that meat with the red or the bell peppers into the eggs. So I'm making 2 meals. So I just make enough turkey meat so I can have it for tacos, and I can also have it for my egg muffins. And then, you know, I've seen, you know, one of my clients, Lex, she lets me put jalapenos in there. a little bit of cheese. Some of us eat string cheese, right? So you can put a little bit of cheese in there. Whatever you really like. Whatever. Some people put spinach in there. You can do whatever. I just kind of gave you something that I do is really simple. And then just keep an eye on them and make them to how you like them. They'll be fluffy and then they turn like golden brown. Yeah.
How much turkey meat do you cook? 'Cause I made turkey meat this week and I made enough for like maybe 2 tacos, like lettuce tacos.
So did you just have one? I get like the big. I think it's like 5.
5 pounds.
Yeah, it's like the big one, and then I do several things with turkey. So it's kind of in here of all the stuff I do. But I'll do like the tacos, I'll do some eggs, and then the rest of it I'll do like a different type of chili, not necessarily like Mexican chili, but like with beans and like chili beans. Yeah, or black beans. Or you can just put a bunch of veggies in there, like corn or whatever you want, and it's like so good. So yeah, and then I make about for every 1 muffin is about 1 egg. So that's kind of how I measure out. If I want to do 6 muffins, I'll do about 6 eggs. If I want to do more than that or less than that, whatever you kind of want to is perfect. Does anybody else have any questions on the egg muffins?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Does it rise like
Yeah.
a certain amount? Okay.
Yep. It gets fluffy, just like muffins. Yeah.
Do you use whole eggs or like those eggs?
I just use the eggs, whole eggs. Talk to your health coach. Okay, whatever your health coach says goes. Some people say use all egg whites, and that's great. So definitely talk to your health coach. What do you use, Lacey? Egg whites. Perfect. My boyfriend used egg whites too. So we like literally have like his egg whites, and I just have my eggs. So yeah, do what you do, right? Do what you do. Awesome. So boiled eggs. All right. So this is one that I personally feel like I mastered. Now everybody has their own tips with boiled eggs. Have you ever made boiled eggs and then like cracked it and like lost the whole egg? Yeah. Yep, me too. So one day I was, leaving for work and I was locking the door and I dropped my little bag of eggs. And instead of having them in like the Tupperware, I just had them in a bag. So I just 2 of them, dropped them, was like, oh no, whatever. So I just left them, put them in the fridge. I ate it about 3 hours later, and they just peeled right off. So what I learned in that mistake was that if you crack your eggs before the air gets in them, and then they're easier to peel. So it's pretty cool. Some people run them over cold water. There's all kinds of different tricks. Some people put some oil in it while they're boiling. I've heard of tons of different stuff. For me, I literally will like right before I eat them, I crack them 2 to 3 hours before, and then I eat them. So whatever works for you. Awesome. So there's just and I even put the little tip in there so you guys can remember. Crack eggs 2 to 3 hours before peeling, and it's easier to peel. Total mistake, but hey. Awesome. And then I did put chicken and veggies. That one's really, really simple. I did 2 different dishes there, so you guys can kind of put what you like, put what you love in there. Ground turkey chili. I do read labels, so I don't just buy any little thing of chili. I make sure that the sodium's low, that there's not like a ton of sugar or calories. I watch all that stuff. But I definitely will get the canned chili beans and then canned corn. Onions and bell pepper, and then I just mix that in with my ground turkey, and it's like amazing. So, yeah. Anybody else have any tips on that? No? Awesome. So my tip there for the egg muffins is also in there, just so you can remember if you use this. I also love to cook salmon and asparagus. So I just gave a really easy recipe there of what I do, and then I already told you about the turkey lettuce wraps. So beautiful. Does anybody have anything you want to share? Anything at all? Do you think this is going to help you?
Yes.
Okay, beautiful.
Thank you.
Awesome. Yes, you're welcome. So I do have a challenge for all of you. Whatever it is that you personally love to cook that's not on here, I know you had some incredible tips. Anything that you have is golden to somebody else who doesn't have it. So if you're in the Facebook page, there's a ton of people there online that can't be here. And they would love to be here. And so just give them an extra little bit of love and post whatever recipe you love on there. Even just go in there and encourage them. If you just have a tip, if somebody says, oh, what should I cook? How did you make that? Just answer them. It's really awesome what we get here in person, right? And not everybody gets that. So thank you so much for having me. You guys have an awesome
Mouse everybody's versed on egg muffins now, right? So hopefully you guys got something on topic. I know I did. Prepping it's life-changing, so if you haven't done it yet, please do so. And did you have a question?
I do. I have a question. Do you have like kids and husband?
I
just said boyfriend, so I didn't ask her. I'm just wondering what the suggestion is when you're meal prepping and you
Oh.
have like.
There you go.
Okay, so I have 2 kids. Sorry, I have 2
wondering
kids.
if you're available.
Well,
Well, I'm sorry. I just, how does, you know what I mean? Because like for example, tonight I meal prepped something for lunch yesterday because I forgot someone was bringing me a shake. Long story short, so I just ate that for dinner. But then I had to cook my family dinner before I came. I mean, I didn't have to. Like, I'm not in some weird relationship. I enjoy cooking, and so I did cook my family dinner before I left. But a lot, you know what I mean? But if like I'm meal prepping things, then I'm gonna be like to my family, dude, hit up the bowl.
Meal prep for your whole family.
You just cook a lot. Because when I started this, my husband was like, I want to cook my meals first every night. And I was like, okay, no problem. So I just meal prepped. And my daughter was like, hey, I want you to eat that for me. And my son was like, hey, what about me? So my husband started eating our meal prep. So then I just make enough so that there's enough food. So when it's someone's dinner night, I say, hey, there's chicken in the fridge, or there's that ground beef, that ground turkey that I made. So now they are eating my meal preps for their dinner plans. Because every night, each of us have to make our own dinners. So they're using my meal prep dinners for their dinner plan. So that's how I eased it in. So now we all meal prep. I meal prep, they eat it.
and I hear that part all the time. Do you want to say something?
Yeah, you don't really get like in my house. There's a bunch of kids that live in our house. I have my kids and niece's kids and whatever. But anyways, I have 3 crock pots because I love crock pots. But I'll like meal prep for the weekend, put like the meat and veggies in a crock pot, another meat and veggies, another meat and veggies, and then every morning I pull it out, stick it in, turn it on, look out, I come home, my dinner's fresh, and it feeds the whole family. And there's always leftovers. So I do it one week, I do that, and the next week we do it again, but it's already half cooked because I've put it in Tupperware and froze it, and then I just bring it out, throw it in the crock pot. We get home that night and have dinner again.
You're so smart.
I love crock pots. I have 3 of them, so like, you have fresh dinner.
Yeah, you guys
Post
absolutely post this in the Shred page because people